Go. Welcome. All right, live. I am back out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk. Brought to you, hosted by Byron Jones and Victor Arocho. Brought to you by the Sportscast. Today is October 19th, man. We're getting deep into the holiday season. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the Sportscast on all our channels: YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes. Also, you can get us on Spotify. We have a podcast, Jersey Boys Sports Talk. Please leave a review. It help us out tremendously. If you have an Apple phone, go to podcast, the little purple button, boom, hit it in there, and you'll get to hear our shows every week. If you want to see us live, we also have a lot of our Excel spreadsheets and a lot of our draft picks, a lot of a lot of work that Byron puts into the Giants depth charts. He also puts in the top 25 quarterbacks, receiving core, linemen. You can more than use that. If you like what you see here, please smash that subscribe button, hit the notification button, and share this to smart sports friends. And we're starting to expand quite a bit. We're getting Philly fans on. We're getting Pittsburgh fans, Colorado fans. We're getting it all over. We even got some Jet fans that don't normally like to come on the show for whatever reason that is. But welcome to the Sportscast, and let's go live. Mr. Byron Jones, how is it going? It's being chilly over here.
It's been nice around here. At night, it's in the 40s. And then, it'll get up, like today is probably like 74, 75 degrees. So I was out there wandering around today with my mother with the window down, driving all over the place, taking her shopping. So it was all good today.
It gets chilly here when it hits 72.
Stop being so soft, man. Stop being so soft.
At 72, man, I got my sweater. Look, I got my jacket on.
Oh,
But when I know what's nice, where we moved, that I was able to go the other day, Wednesday. I got my wife says, hey, honey, why don't we just go to lunch? I was able to leave here at 1 o'clock and get back by 1:50 and had a nice little lunch with my wife right on the main strip of Los Olas, Fort Lauderdale. Beautiful weather outside. I had me a nice little French little bistro restaurant, and we just walked there and walked back.
that was so. Did y'all hold hands?
We hold hands the whole way. And I'm Jersey style. You know what Jersey style is, right? It took my wife a while to get it. Is you always walk the girl on the inside of the street, never on the outside of the street. Right. And it took her a while to understand that. So anyhow, let's get going. So we also have with us on our we got a regular guest and tremendous Philly fan, Mr. Eric Winters. How you doing, Eric?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing today?
Good. And he's nice and early. We were hoping him to come on because
You was 8:55.
he was early. Yep,
Yeah,
that's
real
right.
early.
And we
Well,
also
I had to show up. I was bringing company with me today.
no, we had to show up because your team lost, so we want to make sure you showed up.
Oh, you already?
Yeah, we're coming out. We're guns blazing already, right? You kidding me? I'm gonna tell you. We'll tell you. You're okay because this is Philly. We ain't so bad. It's Dallas that I want us to lose. I hate the Chargers coach. Byron still doesn't agree with me. And then we also have a fellow podcaster, and he has got his own sports show. We have Saul, aka Dolphin Winters. He has his own show. We'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. He's a Dolphin fan, which is Eric's brother, which is pretty impressive because they're coming against each other, I believe, this week. No, so let's get right into it. All right,
So
Giants.
I'm right here.
Hey, Saul, Giants. Byron, what are we gonna do, bro?
I'm still trying to figure out how is it that every week another lineman gets hurt. Another one. The left tackle, whatever his name, I don't even want to know his name, hurt his toe. So they had to get a guy that was, they've been talking about it all week around here. Just Pugh, that was with the team before, number one pick a few years ago, had to go from left guard to left tackle again to save the day. They played a lot better, than what they have been, as far as the offensive line, but it's still a work in progress. But I'm just I'm shocked on how many linemen get hurt constantly. Then there's Shane Lemieux got hurt in practice today, so they're down another lineman. He tore his bicep today, so he's done too.
Do you know that we've had 6 different line starting line combinations every game all season.
Yep.
We have not had 2 back-to-back games with offensive line that was the same offensive line that played the week before.
Well, they still got Evan Turnstile. Neal is still playing right tackle. So
but I'm talking as a whole, right? As a whole unit, because it takes a line to gel, right? I mean the timing, when you have to what do you call it? Drag? I forgot the term. Pull. When you have to pull, you have to have the timing in the pull. You have to do this and that 6 different times. Number one, they did play a little bit better. Tyrod, is it Taylor?
Tyrod Taylor, yeah.
Tyrod Taylor. I think he did all right. I mean, he didn't hurt us except for when. What were we thinking on letting the time run out when we were about to score? Like
no, don't what we were thinking. That was on him because he audible to another play. It was supposed to be a pass play. They could have got 2 plays in the 12 seconds.
We could have got 2 plays out of that. So you know what bothers me about that? You would think, and I would love to get the feedback from our fellow guests. Right? Let's stick with the Giants, guys. You would think that if it was me. And based on what I've saw a history of the NFL lately, that the backups and the backups have been playing pretty well, like enough to, get traded, get some money and get so forth. Perfect example is Geno Smith. I mean, been in the league for how long, gets his opportunity and makes the best of it and gets paid big time. Yep. Is that a fair statement? Right. Yep. And I think Tyrod probably gets paid more than Brock Purdy.
Yes, he does. I think it's like $8 million.
Okay. How could you make when the team is doing that bad and people are questioning Dan Jones? Here's your chance. How could you be not so unprepared to not call the right audibles when you're about to score and the time runs out? That is just either laziness. It's coaching. But it's pure laziness because you get an opportunity. So I'll leave that with that. Eric, what are your thoughts on that?
I have none at all since you already talked about my Eagles, but I don't feel bad for y'all, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because you guys are jumping off the bandwagon entirely too fast. It's the beginning of the season. Like
wait. Let's clear it up. What bandwagon are we jumping off?
I'm saying the Giants is a good team. Y'all just got to figure some things out. Like, I know everybody keeps telling me.
Wait. Stop. I'm going to come right back to you. Saul, AK Dolphin fan, how do you respond to him saying and I'm a Giant fan.
All right. So
you say you're a good team. There's 32 teams. Where would you rate the Dolphins? I mean, the Giants. The Giants.
Right now, after smoking you guys for over 500 yards at Hard Rock not that long ago, y'all got a lot of work to do.
He's definitely Eric's brother.
Oh, yeah.
Brad, what it really comes down to with the Giants is you guys have got y'all got to go back to basics. Y'all got to
Thank you, Saul.
Yeah, but he's right. But I'm trying to just get a response. Super simple.
Okay.
I want you to respond to Eric's response that the Giants are a good team.
I don't know what he needs glasses.
Okay, that's it. I'm good. Boom, Eric. Go ahead. Now tell me your feeling on that.
Now, don't you call me a liar?
I did not call you a liar. I was just saying to you, I disagree with that statement as a fan of the Giants and a fan of the sport. I'll tell you who's a good team, who's a lousy team, right? I'll tell you.
But your opinion is your opinion, and mine is mine. I did once go through this before with you guys, and y'all laughed me off your show. And I told you at that point in time that I was right, and you didn't believe me until we walked the 49ers out of here. You forgot about that. I don't forget that. I keep receipts.
You walked the 49ers out of
Philadelphia, and we broke down both of their quarterbacks and sent them on their way.
Yes.
Then they had to go get 3 other quarterbacks to figure out who's going to be their quarterback this year after they fixed them. So remind you, make sure that we already know it's being recorded. Keep receipts, because when y'all come back around, it'll be the same.
There's no problem. We'll keep a receipt. I'm going to keep a receipt that the Jets beat your Philadelphia Eagles.
You can keep throwing shots.
I'm not going to throw you. You threw a shot. Wait a second. You threw the first. You threw the first arrow. What
was the first arrow? I said your team was good.
No.
Compared to what?
Yeah. First of all, you said that you.
Why do you? I don't understand. Why do y'all keep thinking that in the beginning of the season it counts? You don't win no Super Bowl and you don't go into the playoffs in the first part of the season. The second part of the season is where it counts at.
They are playing out of nowhere. Okay. All right, Eric. I appreciate your opinion, and I appreciate it, especially you being a Giant fan, right? But but doing this and playing it and for such a long time, they are a bad team. They have their line is detrimental. Is 6 different offensive lines been lined up every week. Somebody's hurt. In addition to that, the defense, we put we invested a lot in the defense. Joey Bag of Donuts articulated that very well. The defense is not performing. Lately, they're starting to pick up a little bit. They're not performing. Thibodeau he should be close, a little bit behind Parsons. He's not even close to Parsons. Okay, we're having guys, Dexter Lawrence. Our guys are not performing on both sides of the ball. Okay, you know, when you have your backup quarterback that's making more money than one of the best football teams quarterback in the league, and we run the clock out on the 2-yard line, and you need some kind of victory, that's a bad team, right? They're in the bottom 3 of the bad teams. So they're between them, Chicago, and I forgot who the third one was. Panthers.
I put the Giants number 32.
He put Giants 32. I didn't put the Giants 32. I put Bears 32, but Giants are like 31, and then the Panthers maybe 30. Any of those 3, but you could interchange none of those 3. That's how bad I think they are, and they're so bad that you see the coach yelling at Daniel Jones. He yelled at Tyrod Taylor, right? So I'm gonna stop there. Eric, Saul.
Yes.
Any comments on that piece, how bad the Giants are?
So E has a point to a point, but I'm sorry, E, they're not a good team. They are a bad team. They're lacking fundamentals. They're lacking discipline. It was unprofessionalism on that. I watched the game. I watched that game in Fort Myers, and I was watching that. Me and my boy was watching it, and we were like, what are they doing? Like, you guys clearly should have had points. That really determined the game right there. Like, it was really messed up where you had Buffalo, because we all were like, yo, I'm calling the New York upset over Buffalo. And everybody, like, for real? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, look at it. You know, Dable used to be the coach. You know, Tyrod used to play for Buffalo. It's right there. The upset is ready to happen. So when he ran the play, and we all knew it was no timeouts left, I'm looking at my boy's looking at me, and I'm like, oh, come on. Like, that's bad. When your team is bad, you pick up, what do they usually say? When you have bad habits, then that's when you have a bad team. And when you keep continuing the bad habits, that's when you decide to get a new head coach. So if the bad habits don't get corrected, the unprofessionalism on whoever's side, if it was Taylor's side or it was coach's side or whoever's side it was on, you can't continue to do that. I know this is going on week 7. I understand that things still needs to be fixed. Teams are still adjusting. Everybody's still doing game planning. I get all of that. But you got to get past the bad habits, honestly, in preseason or at least the first 2 games of the season. So I get what you guys do. I can't even,
we're bad. Byron,
we're bad.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, so look,
before you talk, I want to apologize for cooking y'all, because we definitely cooked y'all.
You don't have to apologize for it. We got cooked by we gave up 77 to 6 in the first half of the first 5 games. Let me tell you, and I'll be honest with you, part of me
So do I get a rebuttal?
Yeah, you do. You do. I was happy that I thought we were going to get blown out by 60. That's the way. That's why I don't trust Buffalo. Remember in the beginning of the season, I told you I don't trust Buffalo. They're on and off. I thought we were going to get Byron. Come on, you thought we were going to get blown out?
Yeah, I thought they were going to set records when they played Miami.
I thought Miami was going to set records. I thought Buffalo was going to set records.
And this is the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't win the Super Bowl right now. You win it in the second half of the season. Everybody know that. By that time, the NFC is going to be what it is, especially the East. So you already know Dallas ain't going to be there because they've been doing the same thing for the last 30 years. So who is it down to? Us? Washington? No. I'm talking about just the East.
In the
I'm
division.
talking about the Eagles in our division. It's going to come down to us, the Giants, and Washington, right? If we don't do what we're supposed to do this week, then I'm gonna say, okay, it's a problem. But we're 5-1, and you should have heard the sports talk while we was 5-0. They would say everything that you guys are saying about the Giants. They were saying the same thing about the Philadelphia Eagles, and my brother can attest to that because he listened to it from time to time. It's always been issues with every single win that we had. We finally took a loss, and now everybody like, oh, the sky is falling. We was 5-0 before this past weekend. I'm glad that they actually lost because I didn't see the Eagles going undefeated. I don't know if y'all saw it.
No. I didn't think anybody was going to go undefeated.
So
I didn't think you were going to lose against the Jets.
Well, listen, you act like the Jets. I mean, listen, the offense of the Jets is terrible. I'm not gonna lie. Without Aaron Rodgers being there, he was supposed to be the reason why that offense was supposed to take off. Now you act like their defense is trash, which they're not.
We never acted that way.
Well, I'm not saying you, but you stop trying to stop me. Anyway, at the end of the day, their defense is not trash. They got a whole bunch of number one picks on that defense for a reason. And on top of that, Salas was a defensive coordinator at a certain point. So yes, he knows how to embarrass certain guys because he knows that every player on his defense currently right now may have came throughout the first 5 rounds of the NFL draft. And on top of that, you forgot that like everybody keeps talking about this loss. Yo, we lost one of the best offensive tackles in the league in the last 20, well, no, not 20 years, in the last 10 years. And we put some guy out there that was a walking turnstile. And y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't act like Jack Driscoll's out there lighting up. He looked like he was out there in church shoes.
I understand.
In the parking lot.
All right, but let's move. Okay, so let's. Anything else on the Giants? Because I don't think we got much more to say on the Giants.
To me, I know you guys don't look at it the way I look at it.
No,
you're right. You played football probably because you've been on this earth longer than me. But I played football on good and bad teams, right? And I also understand this. Once the team hit their stride, when they hit their stride, then it's going to be a problem. I'm telling you right now, when y'all hit your stride, watch out.
And he keeps referencing my age. You got to come on. I want to see you on video, man. I want to make sure you look as good as I do when you're my age. I want to make sure we're crystal clear with that.
Oh, listen, listen, man. I'm too pretty right now.
Yeah, anyway, we got to see it. All right, so let's go. All right, so we're done. Brian, you got anything else with the Giants?
They stink.
Okay, good. We're done. We're finished. Yes, I agree. I concur. That was terrible. You know, I hear what you're saying, Eric, but I agree to disagree. But let's get right into the Jets, right? Let's get into the Eagles. Okay. I've told you from game 2, 3, 4, I gave you past 3 because we all had the agreement, and Saul, we all kind of started talking about in one of our shows earlier that were concerned with the way preseason is being handled, that it's now the first 2 NFL games are kind of preseason games. Guys are getting hurt. They're not playing them. They're holding out. They got to figure out something. So I gave you that. Eric made a point, football doesn't start till it starts snowing and still gets cold. I am telling you that the Eagles, when they were undefeated, were not playing to the potential I believe the Eagles have in them. I think there's way more in them than they played, right? Okay. And this loss, I think, brings some of that out. Now, if you want to start talking about as if we don't know about the Jets defense, well, you please listen to our show a lot longer and you'll start hearing me talk because, me and Byron going at it with Aaron Rodgers. Byron, he probably won't deny or deflect this one, but he must agree that I made a statement. I wanted Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. willing to give up everything. I didn't realize how much himself was going to do. And Byron acknowledged that. But Byron, remember, the stats had showed Saleh's defense last year held teams on average like under 18 points.
True.
Rodgers. So I stated that last year, Eric. So this is not, I didn't just like think this up all of a sudden that I think they're not good. No, I told you, I said it already from last year. In addition to that, why I picked the Jets to win the conference with a healthy Aaron Rodgers, and Byron did too. I think Byron picked every team so far in the AFC, except for the Patriots. The reason I picked the Jets is that Aaron Rodgers is 80-10 when his defense holds a team under 20 points.
Right.
That's impressive, right?
That's
80-10. The odds of him winning that there was good. The other reason was I don't trust Buffalo because the way Buffalo just deteriorated in the last half of last year. And look at this year. They're hot, look unstoppable. Then they almost lose to the Giants. They lose. Who do they lose to?
Because your quarterback can't be the running back.
They crush Miami, right? But then they lose to another team. I don't trust. I don't trust Buffalo yet. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about Buffalo. But so my point is that we always knew they had a good enough offense, right? I just still think that Philly is going into. You're going into game 7, they're not playing as good as they played last year. And I was expecting more from them at least this point in the season. Byron?
Well, it seems to me that the problem is that Jalen Hurts, when he gets in trouble, he's looking for a certain person. And I know we talked about this before, Mr. Eric.
Last week.
And what happens? When they had a little blow up a couple weeks ago, between A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, now all of a sudden they're throwing the ball to him. He's getting 10, 11, 12 targets or whatever he's getting a game. And now they got to go out in the street and find who? Julio Jones. Man, you got one of the best receivers right there, Devontae Smith. The kid is good. He's really good. But why isn't he getting targeted? And now why is it that you have to go outside the box to go find a 34-year-old wide receiver, Julio Jones?
And I'll let you answer that now, just so you know, this was also brought up on the Morning Sports Star that Brown is a beast. There is no confusion there, right? He's beast. Get him the ball. But there's a point where all of a sudden, if you can't get him the ball, you can't all of a sudden say, "Hey, let me just throw the Devontae." Is it Devontae Smith?
Yeah,
right, Devontae Smith, because just things change in the dynamics of the game, right? This is why we were saying you got to mix up the ball. You got to mix up the running. You got to mix up targets. I think you give A.J. Brown it's like in basketball, who gets the most shots? A.J. Brown needs to get the most targets, then Devontae Smith. But Devontae Smith's got to get some of his share. Now you went and picked up Julio Jones. They're going to take targets from somebody. You didn't pick up Julio Jones to pay him, just not to throw to him. Right. So I just think that Philly needs they're not playing at the level that I believe they can play, and they played last year. And I don't think Jalen Hurts is playing at the level he played in the Super Bowl. I mean, pretty much, I thought he outplayed Patrick. Right. So go ahead. Saul, let's give you a shot first because you haven't said anything.
So I wanted to rewind back to you was talking about the Jets and Buffalo and all of that. So let's go to that synopsis first, and I'm going to answer your question that you're talking about right now.
Sure.
So being a fan of the Miami Dolphins for 30 years, we know Buffalo has been it's been the Patriots being a thorn in our sides for a lot of those years, and now it's Buffalo. We put up a stinker in Buffalo and got shot out 28 points because fundamentally, we just couldn't tackle, and they just outplayed us. We had a big hit from that 50-point victory against the Denver Broncos, and everybody thought we were going to do it again. And I'm not going to lie, it felt good, but all that glitter's not gold until you sit there and get somebody that's going to punch you in the mouth, and that's what Buffalo did. And I'm happy they did, because at the end of the day, you need to sit there and get smacked. At the end of the day, what it comes down to is nobody, and I think nobody on this panel remembers that Tua hasn't faced the Jets yet. So when Tua faced the Jets and finally faced the Jets, because last season he didn't face the Jets at all because he was out with the concussion when he had the concussion, if I'm correct, in the Cincinnati game. Skylar Thompson, well, actually it was trash behind what is that guy's name? He got a job. I don't know how he keeps getting jobs, but he's a fraud of a quarterback. Ward.
Ryan Fitzpatrick?
No. What was my backup quarterback? What's the name? Bridgewater. There he is.
Oh,
Bridgewater.
Two gloves, Bridgewater.
He's got an agent like no other.
Teddy.
Dude,
Two-glove Teddy.
Jobs, because I'm gonna tell you something. He was just someone that just collected a check for the Miami Dolphins and got out of there. He was putrid. I don't like talking about players like that. I actually seen him in the Minnesota game.
I got you, but tell me why Buffalo.
Buffalo,
if you're going to lose to a team and you lose to Buffalo, hey, I'll take it.
Here's the thing. The key thing is Buffalo just seems like it's that they just always have our number, but people don't realize we got to face them in Miami. The game is still not set. I will be at that game. The date is still not set. It's week 18. So we don't know if it's going to be flexed to a Saturday night or a Sunday night game. So maybe, hopefully at that time, we have the division wrapped up because we could get swept by Buffalo and still win the division. So people don't understand that. We handle our business.
But don't forget, though, wait a second. Don't forget, though, that you guys, that Dolphins should have and almost beat Buffalo in the cold and it was like 38-36 last year.
Yeah, it wasn't 38-36. That was the score of the recent game against
it was a close score. Yeah, Dolphins put up a lot of points last year against Buffalo.
34-31, and what happened was
34-31. It was in the 30s.
When you sit there, and I got to tell you something, for Skylar Thompson at that time to be a rookie 7th-round draft pick, to go in that game, to go in that element, when you go into those type times, you only can ask the kid to do so much, and I think he played a hell of a game. And
I thought you guys could have won that game. I was impressed that you were able to go there and do that, to play it. And it was snowing. It was a bad day.
What it comes down to is, at that point in time, Josh Boyer was our defensive coordinator, and some of the plays he would play like different blitzes. But I will be honest with you, Brian Flores was definitely a brain. As you could tell when Brian Flores started calling calls, when Brian Flores was the coach. Then when you seen it was just Boyer himself. Sometimes some of the plays I was scratching my head, like how you guys scratched your head with the Giants. We were scratching our heads at Hard Rock and wondering how do you get a 2nd and 22 and then the team gets a first down? That doesn't make any sense. We would have like a 3rd and 18 situation and the team would get a first down. No, something's wrong with that. Something's not right. So we have Vic Fangio now. We're still scratching our head with him like the Philly fans. And this is where I can go into the current position where you're at right now. Philadelphia fans have been moaning and crying. The simple reason why is, and I can kind of understand this from a Miami Dolphins point of view. If it's not something that you've seen before and it doesn't look pretty, but it's working, then it's like, okay, I don't know how to feel about it. And I can understand on a Philadelphia's point of view for weeks because I watched them play against Washington because I was a Buffalo Wild Wings. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, y'all don't look bad, but you can say it's the coordinators. You can say that the things are still not connecting with the players. Or you can say it's a communication thing. I mean, the way I look at Philadelphia right now, you cannot sleep on them. They're still dangerous. They might look like they're in disarray.
The show it clear. I still think Philadelphia is one of the top 3 teams in the league. There's no confusion. My issue is they're not playing. My issue is they're not playing at the level that I would have thought they would be at this point.
Let's think about this. They're 5-1 without playing to the quality where everybody knows. They just added Julio. We just added Chase Claypool. So the way I look at this week coming up, and this is how I look at it, Julio might still have something in the tank left. We don't know. We're going to find out Sunday night. They're going to find out about Chase Claypool when they might get the Chase Claypool that was a Pittsburgh Steelers. Right. So I'm looking forward to the matchup. I'm looking forward to the physicality. I want to see if my boys can get punched in the mouth because Philly is going to punch us in the mouth. We know they're going to slow the game down, and we know they're going to forcefully run the rock. They have a very, very forceful running game that's very efficient. Can't take nothing away from them. But I'll say this, they are going to sit there and keep us on the sideline. But what are they going to do when we can put up a point, we can not even 15 to 30 seconds.
Well, this is a test for both teams. This is a good game. So, Eric.
Well, I mean, you guys hit all the major points of the conversation, but Victor, you said you played kick return, right? And wide receiver, correct?
Defensive back and punt and kick return. Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you, a lifelong football guy that stepped on the field, probably stepped on the field with different coordinators of all sorts. What's easier to teach, defense or offense? Which one comes to better? So with that understanding, now we know why Philly looked the way that they look offensively, because it's hard to put your fingerprints on something when you're learning yourself. I'm not saying that Brian Johnson don't know what he's doing. What I am saying, he has to get used to making play calls in real time as an offensive coordinator. As far as defensive, on the defensive side, we see Sean Desai, he came in with the same thing, like he said, what's the guy named Devangio or whatever he is? He came under him. So he already has an idea. And like we said, it's not hard to tackle, but it's hard to make sure the guy catch the ball. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you say, okay, well, why did we go out and go get Julio? Well, if Julio was out there and you had the opportunity to get him and you want to kick the tires on this guy, why not go get him? Because Quez Watkins ain't doing it. Yeah, he had more hamstrings than a little bit. I don't even understand how he even walking with all these hamstring problems. So
I don't want to speak for Byron. I think Byron's point, and I agree, particularly with receivers like Devontae Smith, right? And we had this this debate last week. Just keep giving the ball. Look, Brown's a beast, but you got to spread that ball around, right? 'Cause it's gonna take its effect, right?
Like I said, it's the offense.
And so I think Byron. I'll let Byron talk next. Is like Byron. Byron's point was, you're not even throwing to a kid that's young and good, and you went and got another receiver. Why? Is something happening with Devontae Smith? Byron,
no, something happened with Quez Watkins. That's where we missed the point.
But where's Quez is a slot receiver, right?
He's a slot receiver that opens up the field for Devontae. The way the plays are designed, because I had to go look at it, the way that the plays are designed is for Quez Watkins to always open up the middle of the field. The same thing that at the time when we had, I forgot his name, the tight end that we had that we traded to.
Zach Ertz?
Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz was hardly ever used, but he always opened up the middle of the field so other receivers. Same thing with Deshaun Jackson. If you want to open up the middle of the field, send him deep. Everybody else going to be wide open. It's the same situation that we got it going on.
Wait a second. That's contradictory.
What's contradictory about that?
It's because if everybody's open, you said throw to A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown is open in all digs. Every pass that he caught, besides the ones on the sideline, has all been inside dig, 10-yard digs.
But I think our debate was last week is, if you're saying if everybody's going to be open, we're saying you're throwing the ball.
The route tree that they have and the plays that they're calling is Quez Watkins is supposed to open up the middle of the field. He's in the slot. If you said you play DB, right?
Yep.
So if you put them 3 wide receivers out on the field, you have one of your fastest guys run down the middle of the field, and he's wide open. Yeah, I'm gonna throw it to him. But if you stay back, then now that 10-yard dig is open. I'm not saying that Devontae not getting that 10-yard dig, but you saw what he did last week when he actually had the 10-yard dig. He dropped it. It just happened. It's part of football. But if my man, who's the damn near modern day TO, is wide open, why would I not keep throwing him the ball? And you're not doubling him? And I know that you're going to come down. No, you're going to chase Watkins, knowing he can't catch from me to you. I don't understand what the issue is.
Yeah, but now what they're going to do is they're going to put Julio has always been a wide, all the way out wide. He's been a wide. He's not going to be a slot. He's big. He's a big receiver. So he's going to be outside receiver. You're going to have A.J. Brown going to be the outside receiver. Now Devontae Smith is going to be a slot guy now. That's what they're going to do. They're going to.
But you just gave away the game plan. Thanks. You just gave away the game because
I appreciate it.
No, and the reason why I say you gave away the game plan, because that's exactly what you do. You don't ask Julio to come in and be the Julio from 2015. You ask Julio to do what he could do while he out there. But I know one thing is certain to us for sure. If you do throw that ball to Julio on a hook, on a screen, or something like that, you're going to respect him when you get that ball. I do know that.
Well, then I got another question for you. What's up with Dallas? Goddard's supposed to be one of the better tight ends in the league. So that should be his job as far as clearing out the middle and stuff over the middle. So is he playing okay? Or, I really haven't watched him.
I don't think it's the players necessarily. Again, I started the conversation with Vic. It's the offensive coordinator. He got too many toys to play with. He don't know what he's doing to a certain extent. Why he's there is because he's Jalen's boy. Everybody know that. So no, I'm being real. Everybody knows that. And he can't function. Listen, Philadelphia is a hard place to function in, especially when everybody calling for your job. Like, I'm not saying that he don't know what he's doing. What I am saying is it's a hard place to function. Listen, they want to get him out of here when we was 5-0. It's just one of those things. It's either you survive or you don't. That's just how Philly is.
Well, the coordinator they have, this guy's been successful at, I think he played quarterback at Utah, and every place
Utah, not Philly, and you know that. That's not even South Philly.
Yeah, I know.
That's not even South Philly. You take him down South Philly first thing, and you know how it. I mean, my brother know, and you also know. You come down here to Philly, they liable to tell Jalen Hurts where to stick him and where to go at with it, and that's the nearest bus stop that's right outside the damn stadium. So,
well, all right.
I'm just saying.
Okay, I think we're okay. Let's move on, and I think we'll see how this plays out. I will tell you that this is a topic of discussion, both on our show and in the sports world. That you can't all of a sudden have a guy be ready when you're not throwing to him. So we'll see if it works. It works, right? I still think Philly is one of the better teams out there. I think they're the top team in the NFC East for sure. I think they're one of the top 3 teams in the NFC. But we'll go from there. I just, one of the comments we got from somebody is saying, the Eagles wins have been ugly,
But that's our identity right now.
I get you, but you look at Kansas City. Kansas City's playing good football.
But they're winning ugly too, though. They're not the Kansas City that we've known the last 2 or 3 years. They're little.
Say it again. Say it again for the people in the back.
They
a little older.
They
shaky.
Beat up. Right. Say that again. They definitely shaky.
We say it again for the people in the back.
They ain't got no toughness to them. That's why they trying to figure out where their toughness comes from.
So, what do you think the keys to the victories, Saul, for Miami against Philadelphia?
Key things for victory, we have to sit there and play Miami Dolphin football first and foremost. So we already know Philadelphia is going to be physical, and they're going to sit there and probably do a lot of coming with three D linemen and dropping a lot of back. They're going to sit there and drop a lot of back because they know we run a lot of motion. But right from the door, we start seeing that. You sit there and do that and drop back. We can run screen pass. These guys are fast. I got to give Philly credit. I would love to talk trash right now, but I can't. They are still a dangerous team. So the way I look at it is this. Do our motions. We run a lot of screens. Our running game is very pivotal against Philadelphia. The key matchup of the whole thing will be their D linemen against our offensive line. Our new offensive coach, we got him. He was the ex-offensive line coach for the Denver Broncos, if I'm correct. Barry Birch, that's his name. If I mess his name up, I apologize. And we got him this year, and you can see that he has made wonders out of our offensive line. We have a gentleman that's on the other side of the ball, on the other side where Armstead would be, when the other side would be Austin Jackson, and we would dog Austin Jackson for years. Austin Jackson literally lost about 60 pounds, and he has been a behemoth at that position. And he has got a tall task in front of him coming up this week. So,
right. So would you say that the key? Okay, so let's get to the nitty. Would you say the key to Dolphins' victory is to not let? I don't want to lead you, but I guess go with something what Eric said. I would think the keys to the victory is not letting Philly control the clock. Like you want as many touches as possible.
We already know that's going to happen. So I think if I'm Mike McDaniel, and I will tell you this, I love this dude. I really do. I love him. But the simple fact of the matter is he's very methodical, and he's not a simple question, like a simple-minded question type dude. He makes you think. So I can tell you, McDaniel has something up his sleeve that I don't think Philly or the league has seen yet. So I'm really looking forward. And Eric has already said on my show that he has mad respect for our coach, because he even said, and this is true, his plays are not even on Madden. Let's think about that for a second. This guy is doing brand new plays in the league that nobody has seen. It's been a different style. People said it's an old school style of the Houston Oilers or what was it?
But the run and shoot.
Not the run and shoot. It was what was his name? It was the Houston Oilers coach. Was it Stubberville? Oh, damn it. I can see his face, but I can't say his name. But a gentleman told me that it was the style of offense that, what's the name? It was like Warren Moon and McNair, those guys running back in the day, and they just didn't have the personnel to run it.
What, Kevin Gilbride?
Yes.
I think that's who that is. Yeah.
And he's running, and McDaniel took it and he just did it his own way and then some. And he just put a whole spin on it. And
just so you know, Kevin Gilbride was an OC when the Giants won the Super Bowl. Just, little knowledge.
Got you.
So Byron, what do you think the keys to victory, both sides of the teams, for Miami and Philly?
Well, let's see. This weekend they've had all kind of functions going on in the stadium. The stadium, the grass is going to be a little mushy, so I think Philadelphia's going to line up. They're going to run the ball and run the ball and run the ball some more, and Miami has to stop and put the big boy pants on to stop the running game, because they're going to try to run. And if Miami is able to get those thoroughbreds that they have going up and down the field, it could be ugly that way. So they're going to have to cover. Is Slay playing? I don't know if it's Slay playing or Bradbury.
Yes, he is. Everybody's back on deck.
So everybody's back. So we'll see if them two corners can do anything with Waddle and
don't play press man coverage.
I told you that yesterday. I said that on your show.
Don't pay press man coverage on Tyreek Hill.
Get ready for the peace sign. Get ready for the peace sign. Slay is getting burnt this game. I'm telling you,
if he plays man coverage against Tyreek, you're going to have a problem.
Is Jalen Carter playing, though?
Yes.
There you go.
Over top of the news.
That's the X factor right there.
So that's the X factor.
What do you think the keys to victory for Miami, Byron?
They have to be able to run the ball. They have to be able to pass block, and they have to get ahead of the Eagles as far as the score, because I don't think the Eagles can come back and match them, score for score.
You mean you don't think the Eagles can come back and match them?
No. Once if the Dolphins get ahead, it's going to be a wrap.
Interesting. Well, remember Buffalo was back to back, and then Buffalo exploded. They scored 20. The first 4 possessions against Buffalo, the Buffalo-Miami game, the first 4 possessions for both 2 possessions on each team, each led to a touchdown. It was 14-14. That's 28 points on 4 possessions. Absolutely. So then after that, it changed. Yeah. Look, I think the keys to victory. This is a true test for Miami to see how good they are. Mm-hmm. That's the bottom line, because Miami is by far the fastest team in the NFL. They have a lot of good weapons. I think the coach is doing a great job. Somebody made a comment on one of our shows that the coach may be opening up too much of his playbook too early, because then he's letting everybody know his cards. But I think he's doing a good job there. But it's a true test for them. But I think, Philly is coming in as the favorite. I think Philly's just got to play Philly ball. They got to play not only Philly ball, they got to play NFC East ball, which is what big boy smash your mouth football, right? Control the clock, score on passes, score on runs, and don't have turnovers, right? Because we've already seen that in this league so far, turnovers was what made a major difference. Because it seems like lately, Byron, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like there's a lot more turnovers early in the season that have led to points than in the past, like immediate points.
and Jalen has thrown 7 interceptions already so far this year.
Mm-hmm. So, they're going to need to have pressure on him. So I think I'm excited for this game because this is at least you got two good teams, 2 good quarterbacks, and 2 teams vying. I think if it, and I'll go around. I think Miami has more at stake than Philadelphia does. What are your thoughts on that, Byron?
Damn, I can't even get my little 2 cents.
I'm gonna come to you right now, but Byron, you had a lot. Your 2 cents. Your 2 cents turns into $5.
That's crazy. Like I can't even get my little 2 cents.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Here, I'm gonna defer and let him get his 2 cents.
Okay, go ahead.
No,
let's get you 2 cents.
Fights,
what do you think?
Yeah. Styles make fights, right?
Yeah.
So this is like Hagler Hearns type deal.
Nah.
It is. And I'm gonna tell you why.
It's just like Sugar Ray versus. This is like Sugar Ray versus maybe Hearns or Hagler.
It's
Miami's a Sugar Ray.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because when Hagler and Hearns when they went in the ring, Hagler and Hagler had that jab. He was witty. He was quick and all of that.
Yeah,
Hearns stepped in that ring.
It out.
They battled it out, and you knew what it was when it got done. But you knew that Hagler won that fight. He might not have won on the card, but he won that fight, and he knew that night that he won. What I'm saying to you right now is yes, Miami has all the sparkles and then all that in the world, and they got all the little fast little people.
That's why they're not Hagler Hearns.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, y'all right. You got to line it up within the trenches, and 5 for 5 matched up against the line because you know they're gonna spread them out. You know we're going to have all of those different motions and all of that. That's cute. But if you can't snap the ball because Jalen Carter's standing over top of your head, that's a whole different ball game. Reason why I know is because I once at one point did play on the offensive line. And I know what it's like playing up against a guy who's ready to trash you every single play. Now, you got to realize you got Carter over top of the center. You still got to deal with Fletcher Cox. You still, huh?
Okay.
Oh, listen, don't minimize what I'm saying. Just watch and see. And when I'm right, just tell me I'm right.
Okay, I will. Like okay, but I won't because you can't tell me that the offensive line for the Jets is better than the offensive line for Miami.
How many sacks did we have? How many sacks did the Eagles defense have in that game?
3, right?
Since you know everything, type that up.
3.
They had 3. They had 3 at a certain point, at a major point in time when the Jets could have walked down the field and scored. And then the sacks that they had was dumb they were dumb sacks where the quarterback took on those sacks. Well, what makes you think that lining up 5 for 5, each player, our offensive line versus their defensive line, our defensive line versus their offensive line, that we ain't going to be dominant? Only thing that y'all talking about is receivers.
No, but wait a second. Let's not confuse the fake. I'm picking Philadelphia, right? So,
all right, then come on.
But I got to be able to talk about who has more at stake here, right? For me, the Dolphins have more at stake, right? Because right now they're the show, the highlight show, and so forth. Now you're coming against the blue collar, big tough. Super Bowl contender last year, you got to prove something there. Philly, Philly's the dominant in the NFC East, with Dallas getting that lucky win against the lousy Chargers, right? Helps them in the conference, but I still think that they got to play. They haven't played Philly yet, right? Correct. So they got to play Philly twice. And I think Philly's going to just dominate them. But I think the Dolphins, and then Saul, I'll go to you. I think Dolphins got more at stake because, you have a chance to win the conference. So every game is really important because you still got the Bills there and you got the Jets that got a shot. You may have 3 teams coming out of the AFC East.
Here's the deal. The deal is this. The next 3 games are pivotal for us. Sunday night against Philly. We got the Patriots back in Hard Rock Sunday at 1. And Kansas City over in Germany, which we're going to see the West Stadium also.
That's a lot.
With that being, and then a bye. So then with that being said, if we earn these victories, we have the right to be at number 1 in the AFC.
No,
So,
if you win those victories, yes. But have you won away yet?
Yes, I was actually at the Sunday night football game in New England this actually week 2. I was there, and we actually sat there and played against Bill Belichick, well-coached defense, but we did what we did. Tyreek Hill was held to 40 yards and 1 touchdown. I was right there, 100 level, saw him score a touchdown. I was there all the way to the final buzzer when Gesicki decided to let on the ball, all that. So we have won in prime time. This is another. And you know what? You're absolutely right. This game does mean more to Miami than the Philadelphia Eagles.
It does.
You got to think about this. The first thing in preseason, we got Tyreek Hill going on Twitter and on social media saying that he wanted to run for 2,000 yards and have a Super Bowl ring. Well, he gets 186 yards.
He's on pace for 2,000.
So he's on pace for 2,000 right now. So
2,300 to be exact.
He's on pace for 2,300.
Yeah, he's on pace for 2,300. So with that being said, I'm just saying this. Philly's going to come out dominant. We understand the severity. We already understand the energy that's going to be coming Sunday night. We know we can calm down the first 5 to 10 minutes of that game and conquer and play Miami Dolphin football. And this is a Tua moment. Because I have this, and not to get off the subject. This is a Tua moment. We and our fan base. I am a guy that likes my quarterback, and I want him to succeed. We have a thing called 2-9. 2-9 is for real. You're hearing it from a Miami Dolphin fan. So you got people that Tua can't do nothing wrong. This is the game for me. For me to be a Tua fan, for me to buy a Tua jersey, for me to be that dude. Tua has to win a game like this. I wanted to be there to see this man live to the moment against a quality opponent like the Philadelphia Eagles. So you're right. This game means the world.
Way more to Miami than it does to Philly. But I will tell you this. What scares me, if I was a Miami fan now, for me to be a Tua fan, which I like him when he plays, but our claim to fame on our show is if he stays healthy. The problem is that every single time Tua is addressed in the media is if he stays healthy. So I'll buy a Tua shirt, and I normally don't buy other shirts. I'll buy a Tua shirt if he plays the whole season, regardless of what they do. Right. I just need you to play a whole season.
We all do.
So that's number one. Number two, I think that Jalen performed so poorly against the Jets, right? And I don't think the Philly played well in general. That what you said just brought this even more to light for me, Saul, is that if Miami comes out in those first 5 minutes and starts hitting them, that could be a concern. That could shift Philly. That'll test Philly's,
intestinal fortitude.
Yeah, intestinal fortitude, because coming off a lousy play against the Jets and a Jets team that's not even was already ruled out. You got to agree. Once Aaron Rodgers got hurt and the way Zach Wilson was playing,
right, so you can't play down to the competition.
But I'm saying to you that they were ruled like totally out. Okay. But I think Jalen's going to come out with something to prove, because I think he's a good quarterback. He's improved every single year. Byron has said it from day one. Okay, he's proved every year. And last year, he was the better quarterback in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Okay, he performed.
What about the season?
I believe that your defense lost that game to Philadelphia. But you're right, Eric, Saul. Miami dominates that first 5 minutes. That's going to be a true test, Eric, for your Philadelphia team. Because coming off a lousy performance against a team that was written off, and that's going to be the difference of that game. I still pick Philly. I'm surprised they're only a 1.5 point favorite. That I would think they would be a little bit more
at home too.
But at home in Philly.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe it. But
listen, everybody can't come to Philly and perform. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, it's a hard place to perform, and just
the tourists coming to your
Miami's advantage is it's not that cold there right now.
The tourists coming to your town. I mean, Tyreek said it earlier. He said everybody wants to see the Miami Dolphins, so Philadelphia gets to see the Miami Dolphins in the flesh. They get to see the fastest team in the NFL.
They are exciting, though. Yes, Byron.
They get to see a brand new Tua. This is a brand new Tua. This is the Tua that couldn't beat Tua when Flores was here.
I think Tua is Tua. I just think he's as Byron would say, he's fragile. This, you know what I mean?
I said fragile, a little fragile.
He's fragile, since he's taken, Miyagi-Do karate and he's figured out how to land, he hasn't got hurt yet. So let's pray. I don't want anybody to get hurt. It's just,
learn how to land, huh?
Yeah,
ain't no way to land in football. Somebody puts
I don't think so either. I'm with you, Eric. I don't care what you can do. In preseason, you could do that stuff, but in regular season, I think some of the calls that are getting on defensive linemen are terrible. Okay, well, I think it is a true test for them. It's going to be a good game, but you got a tough road ahead of you. You got some, like you mentioned, some of the teams you play in Kansas City and Frankfurt, and
that's a lot of mental strain too, because you got to all of that running that you got to figure out. You got to play the Eagles, then you got to go to Frankfurt, and then you got to that's a lot. That would be a lot for a record.
Santiago said the Eagles are going to choke versus the Dolphins.
Wow.
He's supposed to say that. Ain't he a fan, right?
He's also saying the Chiefs aren't as scary as they were 3 years ago. Eric is freaking out with Philly's loss against the Jets. Not
freaking out.
Now I'm just making comments. We're like, it's a show, bro. You gotta let stuff go off your thing, man. It ain't that bad. But listen, I think I'd like to see, I live here in Fort Lauderdale. I'm 10 minutes from the stadium. I would like to see the Dolphins do well. It's just like I said, if Tua stays healthy is the keys, but they're a fun team to watch. To be down 14-0 and then be up 28-14.
I was there.
That's phenomenal, right? And I got to give some love to Byron Jones. What's it with the Wilson family?
Wilson family.
I can give some love to the Jones Wilson family because so far I am wrong. I'm wrong so far because I still believe Detroit, but I always like Jared Goff. We go back to the tapes, and Detroit's playing some good football. Detroit's playing good football. Jared Goff, I liked him even with that trade. It's just, I thought Detroit was going to be great when they had Stafford, Megatron, and all these other players.
Barry Sanders.
And that let me down, right? So once you get that bad taste, so I want to shout out to the Wilson family and happy for Detroit. Detroit's up there. They're playing good football. Washington comes out with a victory. I mean, our picks are so bad. Even Mad Dog was on First Take this morning, and he's like, even his picks are bad, Byron, and these guys are getting paid for their show.
You had 11 last week, man.
Who?
You.
I know, but just in general, like I would have had more. I had a couple teams that lost.
You had 11 out of 13? Come on, really?
Yeah,
11-3. You go.
Yeah, but the weeks before, but I got to run a running total, right? It's just, I don't go week by week. It's hard to pick. Jags should win and they lose. Then the Colts should lose and they win. But tonight, I'm picking the Jags because what's his name is playing. Trevor Lawrence is playing. If he wasn't playing, I wouldn't pick him.
It's on right now.
Yeah, I forgot. It was.
That game is on right now. All right, so hey, gentlemen, thank you for joining. Saul, AK Dolphins, I understand you have a show. When is your show? How can we get a hold of you? How can our fans listen into your show?
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, if you ever want to sit there and want to watch a Miami Dolphins podcast that's cool, calm, collected, and just like to relax and lay back, the WCFL Dolphins Talk takes place on Wednesdays, 8:45 p.m. to 10:45 p.m. It is hosted by Papa Paul Ferguson, myself, John O'Hallen, Ethan Steep, Tom O'Gara, our young, beautiful lady on there, Miss Pamela Dolphin herself, and all special guests. We have had a few Miami Dolphin Hall of Famers on there. O.J. McDuffie. We have interviewed Richmond Webb, which we're trying to get him in the Hall of Fame. We have also interviewed Troy Drayton, and we also have interviewed Nick Neham's mom, Shannon Neham, on the show about a couple months ago.
That's awesome.
We have all types of fans. We welcome all fans. We come with a relaxed type of sense. We are not a bashing. We don't do a bunch of screaming. We can't let you come in and we want you to
unlike the Jersey Boys Sports Talk.
I mean, no, you guys are cool too. I like this. I mean, you can let your hair down. You keep it PG. I like it. I know I've been on rated. I've been on R-rated, and I've gone off the charts. I've done all types of podcasts. So I really have just started doing this. I've really been watching it for a few years. I really respect what you guys do, and I'm happy that you have me on your platform. So if you ever want to sit back and watch us on Wednesday nights, 8:45 p.m., come join us. Check it out. You can check us out on Facebook. You can sit there and actually join our Facebook page. It's a Facebook page. If you want to hit up Paul Ferguson is one of the guys that created the show.
And all right, so real quick, so we can get it for our listeners, because it's a lot for them. When is the show? It's Wednesday. At what time? From when?
The show is actually at Wednesday nights at 8:45 p.m.
8:45 p.m. Wednesday nights, and it's on Facebook Live, YouTube.
No, it's on YouTube. We do our show on StreamYard, so it's on YouTube, and it's also on Facebook.
Okay, great. And it's called
the WCFL Dolphin.
WCFL Dolphin.
DOLFANS Talk.
Okay, WCF Day and Dolphin Talk. Okay, we'll put that in our show notes as well. Congratulations with your show. You're welcome to join us on our show. And we'll, if you want, we'll connect with you on your Facebook, and you can get the link. The link is right behind me. Actually, it's the same number that you dialed in on, that access code. If you go to zoom.us and put that access code, you'd come in with video.
Got you.
Okay. And then you could talk, and we could talk a little bit about the Dolphins. We usually start off NFC East, then we'll talk about Dolphins, unless Dolphins are playing one of the NFC East teams. But whenever somebody comes on our show, and like we've had Bronco fans and so forth, we'll talk our stuff, and then we'll talk about their teams. Right. The only fans that we don't get on our show are usually Cowboy fans and Jet fans. Is that true? And by me and Byron from Jersey, so we got lots of friends that are Jet fans. And now one of them come on the show, and we got lots of friends that are Dallas fans. They don't come on the show either.
Well, we did have the one time.
We had one time, and he's in our message group. And when he beat down the Giants, man, I seen so much texts in my life. I have not heard from him since. So, and then, Eric is always fun to join us. Also, Uncle Eric out there, my fraternity brother's uncle. Say hi to him if he's listening to our show. Broncos got some issues there. Hey, look, this season's been pretty interesting. It hasn't been, I'll go. Let me ask you guys a question, because Byron is going to be Byron, right? Because he likes. When I say Byron's going to be Byron, if the Jersey boys, the color behind them, I think, is yellow. Byron's going to tell me it's like lime green.
Yep.
No matter what I say, so I do not believe Brandon Staley should be a head coach in the NFL for the Chargers. You know how I feel about that, Eric. You've already heard me go on our rant. What are your thoughts about this last game they had? He's 4th down and 1. Didn't even need the touchdown to get the points against Dallas. Should have took the points. Thoughts?
I'm gonna let the new guy go.
Saul?
I mean, I'm just gonna say this, and a lot of people might get a little slack about this, but some plays are made to be made for the game, and some plays are being made for a reason. I'm just gonna leave it as that.
You know what I'm gonna say.
I know what you.
I'm going to say it anyway. Come on, man. Brandon Staley is the best head coach in all of the NFL, bar none. He has a generational talent back there, quarterback. Right now,
who he's ruining.
He is not ruining him.
He's ruining that kid.
The kid is doing.
He took the kid. He's
doing great.
That kid will never have that 1-year playoff experience, because that coach decided to go for a win instead of letting it tie.
Let it go, man. Brandon Staley is one of the best coaches in the NFL, man.
2 Hall of Famers in the morning said they would never have that guy as a coach. Stephen A. Smith said this morning that coach should be fired.
Well, guess what?
They all get paid millions.
But guess what?
And listen to me. I didn't listen to them to have my opinion. But I am telling you my opinion. It's 4th down. You only need 1 yard for a first down. Get the first down and score and win the game.
Well, guess what, though?
Take the points. Wait a second. You cannot tell me that there's not one person on the show. Just say yes or no. I don't need any of this stuff. Isn't it football nomenclature to say take the points?
No.
Bull crap. You know that's a lie. You're lying, and don't lie. Your sisters, your mom, everybody knows. Do not lie. You're a good man. Don't lie. That's a lie.
Fish grease right now. Well,
Eric,
no.
Isn't it? It's said to take the points.
No.
Saul, take the points.
No.
What?
Take the points.
Just a talking head right now, man.
The points. That's all they needed was those 3 points. Take those 3 points.
You know
if you're gonna go for it, run. You got a 6'6" quarterback.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
You got a 6'6" quarterback. You need 1 yard. Run the ball.
Yeah.
His blood pressure.
The guy went 26% of the time he's going for it on 4th down, no matter where he's at on the field.
That's funny.
Stupid.
Guess what? The owner ain't fired him yet, so don't even worry about it.
Because he's got pictures of him in women's clothes.
You can't say that.
I'm getting off of here.
We all get
I'm gonna leave it with that. Now I got my blood going. I'm just telling you. I just want to see what you guys are. You guys got to come with opinion with Staley. Please, when you come on my show, come in opinion. As you see him coaching these games, he's ruining that kid. That kid he's ruining Herbert. He's ruining Herbert. I'm sorry, and I'm disappointed in Kellen Moore. I'm not even a Charger fan.
Listen, I mean, we beat them, and we're done with it, and we're gonna move on to Philadelphia this week.
Yeah, you beat them. You beat them by 2 points.
Yeah, we came back in that game. Let's think about that for a second. We came back in that game, and then we played defense to end the game. Remember, we sat there and had a sack.
Remember the position that Eric said what I played, right? Okay, there's no reason that you catch an interception in the end zone on your heels and then try to run it out.
Thank you.
The coach told him to do it. Let it go, man.
What'd you just say? Who told him?
He said the coach
did it.
Which coach?
Brandon Staley.
Exactly.
The greatest coach in the
NFL, let me
man.
ask you a question. Saul. If your team, the Dolphins punt the ball and pin the other team on the 6-yard line, would that be a successful punt or not?
Yeah.
Eric, would that be a successable punt to the Philadelphia?
You already know the answer. Yeah, you got it.
All right. What did that defensive back do? He gave his offense the ball on the 6-yard line.
Oh my God!
What's wrong with that?
Oh my God! Byron, you just love to get me going, don't you? Oh Lord, have mercy. Give me, Lord, please give me strength. Please give me strength. You cannot say on one side it's a great punt, on the other side it was a great play to take the ball on your heels. The only reason you take the ball, especially, and if you ain't Deion Sanders, you ain't Darrelle Revis, you ain't one of those guys that run 4-2. You need to be moving forward. You should be attacking the ball. But if you're on the heels and you catch the ball in the end zone, you take a knee.
Let it go, man. That was a brilliant move.
Yeah, it was. It was brilliant for the Dolphins.
Brilliant.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant for the Dolphins. And then he got burnt. Just so Saul, you know, the same guy that you guys took the lead is the same guy who took it out of the end zone. Same guy.
Let it go, man. Take that little blood pressure pill right now. Let it go, man.
I got my big ears on. All right. Well, anyhow. All right. Listen, I just want to really give Eric. I know you served. I just want to say a shout out. We always want to give a shout out to the Wounded Warriors Project. So if you can go to Wounded Warriors Project, they also sent me a thank you card. Saul, my dad passed away this year in June, late June. And I asked in lieu of flowers for people to send money to Wounded Warriors Project. And we got such an outpouring. We raised well over $3,000. And the Wounded, I just got this today. I was pretty proud of it. And it's a show. They sent me this nice thank you card. And in addition, and so Eric, thank you for your service. Saul, I don't know if you served.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service. Obviously, the Jones family on the Jones, Sonia and the sisters, thank you, and Byron. And then they also gave me this. This is awesome. Byron taught me a little bit about this, but I don't know if you could see it. It's a nice medallion.
It's a challenge.
They gave me a challenge. I got to read on it. Byron told me a little bit about it. So they were really nice because I did Page and, my dad, we were cremating my dad, and I have a lot of friends. A lot of my friends knew my dad, and, what are we going to do with a bunch of flowers? So do me a favor. Just take out. My dad was a 20-year vet, served in Vietnam twice and Korea once. And they sent me this little thing that I'm going to read up on it a little bit tonight. But I want to say thank you to the Wounded Warriors Project. We always ask people to go there, give whatever you can. Right now, can you see the coin?
Yeah.
Really nice in the back. It's beautiful, man. It's like my dad was thinking of me. I was having one of those days. So I wanted to say thank you, gentlemen, for your service. And we're always talking about our servicemen and service women on this show, and first responders. Right. Because they mean a lot to this country. Prayers to those in the Middle East that are going through those wars, both sides that are innocent. There was a young kid that was stabbed to death in the United States.
Yeah, 6 years old.
6 years old. And, let me tell you something. I would never want to see that happen. So prayers out to all those families. And so, if everybody please promote this Saul, if you don't mind, you'll get this link, promote this out to your show, send me yours. I'll promote your show to us as well. We had a lot of Dolphin fans out here.
A lot of them.
Where I'm at, a lot of them. You're probably the smartest Dolphin fan I smoked to.
Whoa.
Oh!
I had to hit that in there.
But you want to hear about that?
That's a compliment. We can have that another time. I'll come on your show. You guys, you can come at me. We'll see what we got. But I want to say thank you again for your show. Again, for our listeners, don't forget to listen to the WCF Dolphins. That's DOLPHANS talk. It's every Wednesday at 8:45 p.m. Mr. Eric Winters, Mr. Philadelphia. Thank you as always. It's always intriguing to have you on our show. And listen to me. The art of sport is debate, right? So It's not about right or wrong. Statistically, you could be right or wrong, and we'll see how things play out. And we'll go from there. So, Byron, who you picking tonight?
Jaguars.
I'm picking Jaguars too. And then Byron, let's throw in our picks. It's getting a little late. Let's throw in our picks that we have. And we'll get that going again. Gentlemen, thank you for our show. Don't forget, this is Jersey Boy Sports Talk every Thursday. What time? 8 o'clock. 8 p.m. We're live every time. So please join our show again. Eric, you're always welcome. And I appreciate you joining early. Even though we went a little bit late. And then Eric enjoyed Eric enjoyed our green room talk because I paused the recording. He goes, speak on the show. No. I can't have this one on the show. So don't forget to join. Please subscribe to the channel. If you like what you're hearing, press the subscribe button, hit the notifications. We have a playlist called Jersey Boy Sports Talk. We also have multiple shows during the week as well. We have the Sports Update. We have Sports 101. So our channel, Sports Talk, has a lot of shows. Don't forget, our show today is sponsored by Gravy Stack, a banking app plus mobile app for kids and teens. It's founded by Scott Donald, founder of Gravy Stack. Also, he has an excellent book called Value Creation Kid. It teaches kids the essential money skills to kids: saving, spending, sharing, earning, and investing. It's Christian, biblically based. Traditional schools lack practical money education. We need some help with education and as it relates to finances in this country. So please look at that. Gravy Stack bridges that gap. Gravy Stack offers a unique solution, banking and investing for app for ages 6 and up, combining gaming with real-world financial skills. My family uses it. We have a lot of other families out there. Our goal is to get this out to 50 million families. We want to change the game of how our kids and our children's children are taught financial education. Sounds good, guys. Gravy Stack. Check us out in the link. Check out the link. We'll also put your link in there for you as well. Saul, for your show. Gentlemen, you have a good night. God bless, and prayers for everybody else out there. Byron, as always, thank you, my brother. I love you, and take care. Good night, gentlemen.
Good night.